Hey, this is Chuck. I want to tell you about a repair I'm having to make to my Cruiser RV MPG 27TH. The D-ring, stock D-ring was really bad and it yanked out. So let me show you what's going on and how I am repairing it. Okay, so heading into the Cruiser RV. So the stock D-ring tie downs are here. So it's got three of them across here. This is where my previous one was. And I got to tell you, I'm really pissed off with how awful this tie down was. So let's see if you can see it. There's the D-ring. Has these little maybe 1 inch lag screws. Total crap. I was trying to hold down a touring Harley with that. Hit a little bit of a bump. And when I got to my destination, this had pulled out and the Harley was laying, luckily not all the way over because the pipe rested up against something else that I had sitting under it. But this is really, really crap for a hold down system. So what I am doing is I am going to a big system that will have this bracket underneath it. So I'm going to cut out a 3.5 inch hole. I'm going to sink this down in here, and down under it I will put this plate, and I'm going to run 3/8 by 4 inch long lag screws in. So I will bolt them from the bottom, and that's going to be nice and strong. I will then do the same thing for this one. These are the two most important hold downs for me. Because I have my Harley, I'm strapping it down from the front, so these two have to be incredibly strong. This one even more so because I have a couple things connected to it. The other ones I'm not really worried about, although I will pull out all of these lag screws and I will come in with longer lag screws. There, 1 inch is total crap, so I will at least come in with 3.5 or 4 inch lag screws, and those will definitely be good enough there. Okay, I'm under the trailer now, so I've already made some cuts, but let me tell you a little bit what I did to be able to get to where the hold down boat, the hold down D-ring comes in. I had to get under the trailer, and I'm right between the two wheels, and what I did was I cut a rectangular cutout in the rectangular cutout in the corrugated whatever type of board this is under here, and once that came down, then this is the I guess the worm gear drive, whatever the proper name is, for the slide out, where the two screws came in for the stock hold down came in. I think you can see them there. Yep, here, and the other one is maybe a little bit back behind. So they did not come down this far. I had to drill all the way down. I was a little worried about hitting something, and luckily there were no tanks or wires or anything under here. So anyway, this is where those screws come in. Oh, also to get to here, I had to cut out a patch of the insulation. So, you know, insulation, cut it out. I'll just put it back on with duct tape. When I made this cutout, I purposely cut out past this bar, and I just kind of hinged it down. So what I will do to close it up is I will bring it back up, and I will tap probably right here into that metal cross beam, and then I'll just black duct tape it around here. So that's how I plan to fix it up. So anyway, that's what it looks like now before I do my repair. I am putting in a much better D-ring system here, and I'll show you that later after I get it done. Okay, before I change anything up, let me show you a couple other things. The tape here, this is how far I drilled through the floor to get to the top of the worm screw for the slide out. So that's right at 4 inches. So just letting you know, you got a 4-inch drill straight down. So and that goes even down below the 2x4 under it with about maybe an inch to spare. So 4-inch lag bolt will be perfect for what I'm doing here, because it will stand off a little bit with the bracket. This is what I am just about to put the hole saw to. So that inner circle is what I'm going to cut out with a hole saw. The center of the saw is going to be right between the two stock holes there. Drill it down. Don't know how hard it's going to be to get that little piece of floor off, but I don't think it's going to be too hard. Might have to get a chisel or something after it, and I'm going to need to probably go down an inch, inch and a half, maybe inch and a half or so, to be able to get this to set down in there. Anyway, show you some more later. Hey, and what's a little fix-up work without some blood? Got myself on the chin pretty good. Trying to get the hole saw off. Stupid me. Anyway, okay, so a little more information. After doing the hole saw, it's a 1x under that, and so what I did was I grabbed a Forstner bit. The largest I had was a 1-inch bit. Went down about an inch, and it looks like I broke through the top board. So it's looks like either a 3/4 inch, probably 3/4 inch plywood is what it looks like. So I'll probably drill a couple more holes here, see if it comes out easy. Since it's a 1x though, I think it should come on out a little bit easier. If not, I will drill a bunch of Forstner bit holes all the way around and take it out that way. So just kind of brute force it. Okay, first step accomplished. I came in with the 3.5 inch hole saw. That first layer of wood after the laminate comes off, the laminate's only I don't know, a 1/16 or so. So there's the laminate right there. So so anyway, with the hole saw, went down. Looks like 3/4 inch plywood is that first layer of board under that. So got it up. So I should be able to drop the new D-ring right down in there, and then I'll drill some holes through on the corners, and it ought to be pretty good on here. So it's actually working out pretty well. Okay, after I cut out the plywood, so 3/4 inch plywood, pulled it out with the hole saw. I have dropped the mounting plate, the D-ring plate, down in there. Perfect fit, so 1/4 inch is just right. The way I'm planning to mount it is have 3/8 inch lag screws. So I'm going to drop them in. I'm going to drill it out to whatever the next size up is, 19/32. I don't know. I'm not going to do the math in my head. Gonna run those 4-inch lag bolts in, and from the bottom side, I will mount that, and I will show you that in a little bit. I'll put washers on the bottom side and locking nuts. Another option, and I got this while I was in the store, just not sure in what I was dealing with. And I think this would be almost as good, not as good, but a heck of a lot better than those crappy little 1-inch screws they put in. Was you could get 3/8 inch lag screws, and this is 4 inches long. So 4 inches long would go all the way through and would just barely stick out of the bottom. So you'll have a lot of thread engagement. So 4 of those would be pretty dang strong. Not as strong as lag bolts with washers and nuts on the bottom going through a steel plate. But you know, if you wanted it to be a little bit easier, you could do the lag screw. I'm going to do the bolts, so I'll show you that in a little bit. Okay, I have the hole drilled out, cleaned out, the 4 holes, and I just did a 3/8 inch bit. When I went up a size, it was actually a little too sloppy, so I used a 3/8 inch bit for the 3/8 inch screws. Wallowed it out a little bit, but it was a good fit. I see daylight all the way through those screws, so ought to be easy on the underside. Gonna drop this guy in. The lag screws are gonna go right down. Well, not a lag bolt, or lag, I'm sorry, not a lag screw, but the lag bolts will go on down. So they're in. I'll get them lined up and seated perfectly, and then I'll come in from the bottom with the with that plate and put a washer and hex nut on the bottom for each of those, and then I will be done. I did set these up so that they open up toward the back. That's just the way I like them. So anyway, okay, I am done on the bottom. So the 3/8 inch by 4-inch long lug bolts is what I used. I thought I was drilling the holes perfectly vertical, but I wasn't. So I couldn't get the plate to go on. So I ended up cutting the plate in half. And so I've got, half the plate has 2 screws. The other half the plate has the other 2 screws. Hindsight being 2020, instead of the 4-inch screws, I would have done 3.5 or maybe even 3-inch screws. It looks like I have about 1.25 inches or so, maybe 1.5 inches left over. So it was a lot of screwing, and that nut was really tough. So it was, just couldn't get a socket on it. So I had to wrench it down by hand. Used a crow's foot. Oh my gosh, it was gruelingly slow, but got it on, so it looks really good on the bottom. So I will close up the insulation, and then I will put the flap back closed, and then I will be done. Of course, with the insulation, I'll have to work it around the screws, so I'll figure that out as I get it on. Anyway, that's it from the bottom. Okay, I got the one completely installed. Used the 4-inch carriage bolts, got under, and got a backing plate on them. This is the really critical one for me because I do 2 different tie downs here, and this one has got to hold. So I made it really strong. On the other side, and there's 3 across here in the 2700TH. I can't see the other one. So I just replaced this one. It was also the surface mount silver one with just the 2 little screws in it. So I took it out. It's the same D-ring plate, very heavy duty. It says it's good for 8,000 pounds, something like that. I did not feel like getting under and having to cut away all of that stuff. And since it's wood all the way down, I came in with 3/8 inch by 3.5 inch long lag screws. So I just pulled it out, drilled out the 3-inch, 3/4 inch deep hole in the middle, for the recessed ring, and drilled a couple pilot holes, and then came in with the lag screw. So this one was probably a 5-minute job. The other one I probably spent, oh my gosh, 4 hours on, which also included making several runs to Home Depot trying to figure out what the heck I needed. But anyway, all done. I'll probably do all of my other ones, at least on the 4 corners, with this mount, with the lag screws. I'm good with that, as long as I just had that one that I knew had to be super strong. But otherwise, 3/8 inch lag screws I think will be more than sufficient to hold the bike down. Anyway, all done.